The unsurpassed, profound, subtle Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of billions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Thus I have heard. At one time, the Buddha stayed at Mount Gritrakuta, Vulture Peak in Rajgir. He gathered with an assembly of 1,250 great bhikkhus, along with 32,000 bodhisattvas, with Dharma Prince Manjushri as the leader. At that time, in the great city of Rajgir, there was a prince named Ajatasattu. Following the incitement of Devadatta, a treacherous companion, he seized and detained his father, King Bimbisara, in a chamber with 7 layers of guards. All ministers were forbidden from visiting. The queen mother, named Vaidehi, was devoted to the king. After bathing and cleansing herself, she applied a mixture of ghee, honey, and fried flour onto her body and filled her ornaments with grape pulp, secretly offering them to the king. The king ate the fried flour and drank the grape pulp, then requested water to rinse his mouth. Afterwards he joined his palms in reverence, turned towards Gritrakuta, and from afar paid homage to the world-honored one, saying, Maha Moggallana is my relative and friend. I pray for his compassion to bestow upon me the 8 precepts. Moggallana swiftly reached the king's side, like a falcon in flight. Day after day he appeared in this manner to confer the 8 precepts upon the king. The world-honored one also sent the venerable Purna to expound the Dharma to him. 3 weeks passed in this way. As the king ate the fried flour and honey and listened to the Dharma, his complexion became serene and content. Then Ajatasattu asked the security guard, Is my father still alive? The guard reported, Sire, the queen has smeared fried flour and honey on her body, filled her ornaments with grape pulp, and brought them to the king. The bhikkhus Moggallana and Purna descended from the air to teach him the Dharma. They cannot be stopped. Hearing this, Ajatasattu became enraged with his mother. She is a traitor, siding with the enemy. These bhikkhus are evildoers, conjuring deceptive illusions, allowing this wicked king to survive for so many days. Grabbing a sharp sword, he was about to kill his mother. At that time there was a minister named Moonlight, who was both intelligent and knowledgeable. He and Jivaka bowed before the king and said, Sire, your humble servants have learned from the Vedas that since the beginning of this kalpa there have been 18,000 wicked kings who coveted the throne and killed their fathers. But no one has ever heard of the atrocity of killing one's mother. Sire, if you commit this heinous act and defile the Kshatriya caste, we cannot bear to witness it. Such a deed would be fit a Chandala, a butcher outcast, who wouldn't be fit to live here. Having said this, the 2 ministers placed their hands on their swords, stepped back, and began to withdraw. Ajatasattu, shocked and fearful, cried out to Jivaka, Are you not on my side? Jivaka pleaded, Sire, please do not kill your mother. Hearing this, Ajatasattu repented and called for help. He dropped his sword and refrained from harming his mother. He then ordered the palace officials to confine her in the depths of the palace, forbidding her from ever leaving again. Imprisoned and haggard, Vaidehi was consumed with distress. Facing the direction of Mount Gritrakuta, she bowed to the Buddha from afar and said, Tathagata, world-honored one, in the past you often sent Ananda to comfort me. Now I am overwhelmed with sorrow and grief, but because of your awe-inspiring majesty, world-honored one, I cannot hope to see you. I earnestly wish you can send Moggallana and Venerable Ananda to meet with me. After speaking, she wept with grief, her tears falling like rain. She bowed again to the Buddha from afar. Before she could lift her head, the world-honored one at Mount Gritrakuta perceived her thoughts. He immediately instructed Moggallana and Ananda to reach her through the air. The Buddha himself vanished from Mount Gritrakuta and appeared in the royal palace. As Vaidehi raised her head, she beheld the world-honored one, Shakyamuni Buddha, his body radiant with a purple-golden color, seated on a lotus made of hundreds of jewels. Moggallana attended on his left and Ananda on his right. In the air, devas such as Sakara, Brahma, and the world protectors, 4 heavenly kings, were present, showering celestial flowers all around as offerings. Seeing the world-honored one, Vaidehi tore off her ornaments and prostrated herself on the ground, wailing to the Buddha. World-honored one, what karmic offenses did I commit in past lives to give birth to such an evil son? And what causes and conditions have linked you, world-honored one, to Devadatta as a relation? I humbly beseech you, world-honored one, to expound in detail in places free from sorrow and distress, where I may be reborn. I find no joy in Jamadvi with this turbid and iniquitous world. It is marred in defilement and evil, filled with hell beings, hungry ghosts, and animals. and crowded with unwholesome gatherings. I pray that in the future I will neither hear evil sounds nor see wicked people. Now I prostrate myself before you, World Honored One, with my 5 limbs touching the ground, imploring your compassion and seeking repentance. I entreat you, Sunlight Buddha, to teach me how to contemplate the realm of pure karma. At that moment, the World Honored One emitted a light from between his eyebrows. Golden in hue, it illuminated innumerable worlds throughout the 10 directions. Returning to rest upon the Buddha's crown, the light transformed into a golden platform, majestic like Mount Sumer. Within it appeared the pure, wondrous Buddha lands of the 10 directions, some formed from the 7 treasures, others composed entirely of lotus flowers, some resembling the palaces of Ishvara Deva, and others like crystal mirrors reflecting worlds in all directions. Countless Buddha lands such as these, resplendent and vividly clear, were revealed to Vaidehi's sight. Then Vaidehi said to the Buddha, World Honored One, though these Buddha lands are pure, immaculate, and radiant, my wish now is to be reborn in the land of bliss, where Amitabha Buddha resides. I earnestly beseech you, World Honored One, to teach me the practices of contemplative reflection and correct meditative absorption. The World Honored One smiled. Rays of 5-colored light emanated from his mouth, each illuminating the crown of King Bimbisara. Though the king was confined at the time, his mind's eye was unobstructed. From afar he beheld the World Honored One bowed with his forehead to the ground, and progressive and spontaneously attained the stage of Anagami, non-returner. Then the World Honored One said to Vaidehi, do you now understand? Amitabha Buddha is not far from here. You should focus your mind and meticulously contemplate that land to accomplish pure karma. I will now explain this in detail for you using various analogies. It will also enable future generations of ordinary beings who wish to cultivate pure karma to attain rebirth in the western land of bliss. Those who wish to be reborn in that land should cultivate 3 kinds of meritorious actions. 1. Be filial to parents, respect and serve teachers and elders, maintain kind-heartedness, refrain from killing, and cultivate the 10 good actions. 2. Undertake and uphold the 3 refuges, fully observe the myriad precepts, and avoid undignified comportment. 3. Awaken the Bodhi mind, believe deeply in cause and effect, read and chant Mahayana scriptures, and encourage others to practice. These 3 kinds of deeds are called pure karma. The Buddha said to Vaidehi, do you now understand these 3 types of karma are the primary causes of the pure karma of all Buddhas, past, present, and future? The Buddha addressed Ananda and Vaidehi, listen carefully, reflect on this properly. Now the Tathagata will teach about pristine, pure karma for all beings of future generations, those afflicted by vexatious thieves. Well done, Vaidehi, it is an excellent question. Ananda, you must uphold this teaching and proclaim the Buddha's words widely to all multitudes. Today the Tathagata will instruct Vaidehi and all future beings to contemplate the western land of bliss. Through the Buddha's power you will behold that pure realm as clearly as seeing your own face reflected in a bright mirror. Upon witnessing the extraordinary, wondrous, and blissful phenomena of that land, your hearts will be filled with joy, and you will immediately attain the endurance for the non-arising dharmas. The Buddha told Vaidehi, you are an ordinary being with limited mental perception. Lacking divine sight, you are unable to see far. Yet the Tathagatas possess extraordinary skillful means to enable you to attain this vision. At that time, Vaidehi said to the Buddha, World Honored One, through the Buddha's power, someone like me is able to behold that land today. Yet after the Buddha's parinirvana, sentient beings will become turbid, wicked, and devoid of virtue, burdened by the 5 sufferings. How will they be able to see the land of bliss? The Buddha told Vaidehi, you and sentient beings should focus your minds and direct your thoughts towards contemplating the western pure land. How should this contemplation be practiced? Contemplate in this way. All sentient beings who have eyes, except those born blind, can see the setting sun by visualizing it. Sit upright facing west and carefully reflect on the place where the sun is about to set. Keep your mind firm and steady, visualizing attentively without distraction. See the sun shaped like a suspended drum as it prepares to set. Once seen, ensure the vision remains clear and distinct, whether your eyes are closed or open. This is the visualization of the sun, called the first contemplation. Next, visualize water. See the water is clear and pure, ensuring the vision is clear and distinct with the mind free from distraction. After perceiving the water, visualize it as turning into ice. Once the ice appears crystal clear, visualize it as Vaidurya. That completed, envisage the Vaidurya ground, glittering and translucent inside and out. Beneath the ground are golden banners, made of diamond and 7 treasures, supporting the Vaidurya ground. Each banner has 8 sides and facets perfectly formed, and each side is composed of hundreds of precious jewels. From each jewel, Thousands of luminous rays shine forth, each ray displaying 84,000 colors, illuminating the Vidura ground like trillions of suns, too numerous to distinguish. Upon the Vidura ground, golden cords like pathways crisscross. Boundaries made of the 7 treasures clearly divide the land into distinct sections. From within each treasure, 500 hues of light radiate like flowers, stars, and moons suspended in the sky. These lights form brilliant flowers along with millions of mansions and pavilions crafted from hundreds of treasures. On each side of the platforms, billions of flower banners, and countless musical instruments serve as adornments. 8 kinds of pure breezes emanate from the light, playing the instruments and echoing sounds that expound on suffering, emptiness, impermanence, and egolessness. This is the visualization of the water called the second contemplation. When this visualization is completed, contemplate one aspect after another, ensuring the vision is perfectly clear and distinct. Whether your eyes are closed or open, never allow the vision to fade or dissipate. Except during sleep, keep it constantly in mind. Visualizing in this way is called roughly seeing the ground of the land of bliss. Those who attain samadhi will perceive the ground of that land with clear and distinct vision, its details beyond full description. This is the visualization of the ground called the third contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda, "You should preserve my words and expound this method of contemplating the ground to all multitudes of future generations who seek liberation from suffering." Those who contemplate the ground in this way eliminate their reincarnation fate and negative karma accumulated over 8 billion kalpas. Upon leaving this life and in future lifetimes, they will surely be reborn in the Pure Land. Do not doubt this. Contemplating this way is called correct contemplation. Contemplating otherwise is called incorrect contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, after contemplating the visualization of the ground, proceed to contemplate the jewel trees. As you do, reflect on each detail, envisioning 7 trees of arrayed trees. Each tree stands 8,000 yojanas tall with leaves and flowers made of the 7 treasures, lacking nothing. Each leaf and flower radiates the colors of precious jewels. From the colors of Vidura shines golden light, from crystal red light, from agate the light of Tridakna, and from Tridakna green pearl light. Coral, amber, and all other precious gems embellish the trees. Wondrous pearly nets fully covers the trees, with each tree veiled in 7 layers of netting. Between each layer are 50 billion exquisite floral palaces resembling those of Lord Brahma. Celestial children naturally dwell there. These children are adorned with necklaces made of 50 billion radiant Sakrabilagna Muni gems, whose light illuminates 100 yojanas like the combined brilliance of billions of suns and moons. Their details indescribable. Myriad jewels intermingle, shining with the most sublime colors, surpassing all others. These jewel trees stand in perfect alignment, their leaves spreading in orderly patterns. Among the leaves, exquisite flowers bloom, naturally bearing 7 jeweled fruits. Each leaf extends 25 yojanas in length and width, displaying thousands of colors and hundreds of patterns resembling celestial ornaments. Some wondrous flowers radiate the hue of jambunada gold, like spinning fire wheels revolving amid the leaves. From there emerge various fruits, like Indra's vases, emitting bright light. These rays transform into banners and countless jeweled canopies, within which the activities of all Buddhas throughout the 3,000-fold Great Chiliocosm are reflected. Buddha lines of the 10 directions also manifest within. After visualizing these trees, contemplate each detail in sequence. Reflect on the tree trunks, stems, branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits, ensuring each image is clear and distinct. This is the visualization of the trees called the fourth contemplation. Next, envision the water. In the land of bliss, there are 8 ponds. The water in each pond formed from the 7 treasures is soft and yielding, originating from the king wish-fulfilling gem. This water flows into 14 streams, each reflecting the wondrous colors of the 7 treasures. The channels are lined with gold, and their beds are composed of multicolored Vajra sand. In each stream there are 6 billion 7-jeweled lotuses. Each lotus is perfectly round, uniform in size, and spans 12 yojanas. The Muni water flows among the flowers. moving along the trees upwards and downwards. Its subtle and exquisite sound expounds the teachings on suffering, emptiness, impermanence, egolessness, and the paramitas, while also praising the marks and physical characteristics of the Buddhas. The king was fulfilling gem emits a subtle, wondrous golden radiance that transforms into birds of hundreds of bejeweled colors. These birds sing in elegant, harmonious tones, constantly praising the practice of invoking the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. This is the visualization of the water of 8 meritorious virtues, called the fifth contemplation. In this land of myriad treasures, every region contains 50 billion jeweled mansions. Inside these mansions, countless celestial beings perform heavenly music. There are also musical instruments suspended in the sky like those of the deity Ratnadvaja, jeweled banners, which emit melodies without being played. These various sounds resonate with teachings on the invocation of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Accomplishing this visualization is referred to as roughly seeing the jeweled trees, jeweled ground, and jeweled ponds of the land of bliss. This is the general contemplation called the sixth contemplation. Those who attain this vision eliminate their reincarnation-destined negative karma of countless billion kalpas, and after death will surely be reborn in the Pure Land. Contemplating this way is called correct contemplation. Contemplating otherwise is called incorrect contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Videhi, listen carefully. Reflect on this properly. I will teach you in detail the methods to eliminate suffering and distress. You should remember and preserve my teachings and expound it widely to the multitudes. As these words were spoken, the Buddha of infinite life appeared, standing in the air, along with Mahasavas Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamapramta attending him by his sides. Their radiance was so brilliant that it could not be fully perceived, and even 100,000 times the luster of Nabhanana gold could not compare. Upon seeing the Buddha of infinite life, Videhi bowed in veneration with her head touching the feet of Shakyamuni Buddha and said, Well honored one, now through the Buddha's power, I have seen the Buddha of infinite life and the two Bodhisattvas. How can sending in the future generations contemplate them? The Buddha said to Videhi, those who wish to contemplate that Buddha should begin by envisioning a lotus flower on the 7 jewel ground. Each petal of the lotus flashes hundreds of jewel colors and displays 84,000 veins as resplendent as celestial paintings. Every vein emits 84,000 rays of light. Envision all of them clearly and distinctly. Small petals extend 250 yojanas in length and width. Each lotus encompasses 84,000 petals. Between the petals are billions of ornamental King Muni gems. Each Muni gem issues thousands of radiant beams. The radiance spreads out like canopies made of 7 jewels, thoroughly covering the ground. The podium is made of Sakra Abhilagna gems. This lotus podium is decorated with 80,000 Vajra Kimsuka gems, Brahma Muni gems, and exquisite pearly nets. On that podium each stand spontaneously 4 pillars of treasured banners. Each banner resembles 100 quadrillion Mount Sumerus. Treasured valances drape the pillars, similar to those in Yama heaven. They are adorned with 5 billion exquisite gems, each releasing 84,000 rays of light. Each ray glows with 84,000 different hues of golden color. The golden color suffuses the treasured land and transforms into various objects everywhere, such as Vajra seats, pearly nets, and multicolored flowery clouds. Throughout the 10 directions, the golden color mutates and manifests as wished and performs the Buddha's work. This is the visualization of the lotus throne, called the 7th contemplation. The Buddha told Ananda, this wondrous flower was originally created through the power of Bhikkhu Dharmakara's vows. Those who wish to invoke Amitabha Buddha should first envision this lotus throne. In performing this, refrain from this visualization. Contemplate every aspect, each petal, each jewel, each ray of light, each platform, and each banner. Ensure their images are perfectly clear and distinct, as if seeing your own reflection in a mirror. Once this contemplation succeeds, practitioners will eliminate their reincarnation-fated negative karma accumulated over 5 trillion kalpas and will certainly be reborn in the land of bliss. Contemplating this way is called correct contemplation. Contemplating otherwise is called incorrect contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Videhi, having seen this phenomenon, proceed to envisage the Buddha. Why? Tathagatas are bodies of the Dharma realm, and they enter the mind of each sentient being. For this reason, when thinking of a Buddha, your minds become the Buddha's 32 marks and 80 physical characteristics. It is the mind that creates Buddha, the mind that is Buddha. The ocean of the Buddha's perfect universal knowledge arises from the thinking mind. Therefore, you should focus single-mindedly on contemplating that Buddha, Tathagata, Arhat, one worthy of offerings, and Samyak, Sambuddha, one with correct universal knowledge. To contemplate that Buddha, begin by envisioning his image with eyes closed or open. Picture a majestic image in the hue of Jambunata gold, seated on that lotus. Once this image is perceived, the mind's eye will open with clear and distinct sight, allowing a vision of the seven jeweled adornments of the land of bliss, jewel ground, jeweled ponds, and rows of jeweled trees. Heavenly jeweled canopies cover them entirely, and nets of myriad treasures fill the sky. After these sights appear, ensure the vision is clear and distinct, as if viewing them in your palms. Having seen this phenomenon, envision another large lotus to the left of Amitabha, identical to the previous flower, with no difference. Then imagine one more large lotus to the right of the Buddha. Visualize an image of Bodhisattva of Avalokiteshvara seated on the left lotus throne, shining with the same golden hue as before. Then picture an image of Bodhisattva Mahastamaprapta seated on the right lotus throne. When this visualization is accomplished, the images of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas will all emit light, shining with a golden hue. The rays illuminate the jeweled trees. Beneath each tree are also 3 lotuses, supporting an image of Amitabha, Buddha, and the 2 Bodhisattvas, respectively, filling the entire land. When this visualization is accomplished, practitioners will be able to hear the flowing water, radiance, jeweled trees, geese, and ducks expounding the wondrous Dharma. Whether entering or exiting samadhi, practitioners will continually hear the wondrous Dharma. Upon exiting samadhi, practitioners should remember and uphold what they have heard, without forgetting, ensuring it aligns with the sutras. If it does not, it is delusional thinking. If it does, it is called the rough visualization of the land of bliss. This is the visualization of the images, called the 8th contemplation. Contemplating in this way eliminates reincarnation fated negative karma of innumerable billions of kalpas and leads to attainment of Buddha invocation samadhi in this present life. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, when this visualization is accomplished, proceed to contemplate the physical characteristics and radiance of the Buddha of infinite life. Ananda, you should know that the body of that Buddha is 10 trillion times more brilliant than Jambunata gold from Yama heaven. His height spans as many yojanas as 60 trillion nayutas of sand grains in the Ganges River. The white tuft between his eyebrows spirals to the right and equals the size of 5 Mount Sumerus. The Buddha's eyes resemble the waters of the 4 great oceans, with a striking contrast between black and white. From each pore of his body, light shines forth as immense as Mount Sumeru. That Buddha's halo extends as vast as 10,003,000-fold great chiliocosms. Within this halo are emanated Buddhas, numerous as 100 trillion nayutas of sand grains in the Ganges River, each attended by countless emanated bodhisattvas. The Buddha of infinite life bears 84,000 marks, and each mark contains 84,000 physical characteristics. Within each characteristic are 84,000 beams of radiance. Each beam permeates all worlds in the 10 directions, embracing and never abandoning sentient beings who invoke that Buddha. Embracing and never abandoning sentient beings who invoke that Buddha. His radiance marks physical characteristics and emanated Buddhas defy full description. Simply recall and visualize. Let the mind's eye see. Those who behold this phenomenon will immediately perceive all Buddhas of the 10 directions. Because this vision reveals the Buddhas, it is called Buddha invocation samadhi. Contemplating in this way is termed contemplating the body of all Buddhas. By contemplating the Buddha's body, one also perceives the Buddha's mind. The Buddha's mind is none other than great compassion, embracing sentient beings with unconditional kindness. Those who contemplate this way will, upon leaving this life and in future lifetimes, be reborn before Buddhas and attain the endurance for the non-arising of dharmas. Therefore, the wise should single-mindedly contemplate the Buddha of infinite life. To To contemplate the Buddha of infinite life, begin with one of his marks and physical characteristics. Simply contemplate the white tuft between his eyebrows and ensure the vision is perfectly clear and distinct. Upon seeing the white tuft, his 84,000 marks and physical characteristics will naturally come into view. Those who see the Buddha of infinite life will immediately behold countless Buddhas of the 10 directions. Upon seeing them, these Buddhas will come forth to bestow upon the contemplators predictions of Buddhahood. This is the universal contemplation of all the form, bodies, and physical marks, called the 9th contemplation. Contemplating this way is called correct contemplation. Contemplating otherwise is called incorrect contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, after beholding the Buddha of infinite life with clear, distinct vision, proceed to contemplate Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. His height reaches 80 trillion Nayuti yojanas, and his body shines with a purple-gold color. Atop his head is a flesh Ushnisa, and behind his nape a radiant halo extends 100,000 yojanas in all directions. In his halo reside 500 emanated Buddhas, each resembling Shakyamuni. Every emanated Buddha is accompanied by 500 emanated Bodhisattvas and countless celestial beings as attendants. The whole body radiance of Avalokiteshvara reflects all the forms and features of sentient beings from the 5 realms. Crowning his head is a heavenly diadem made of Bilagna Muni gems, within which stands an emanated Buddha towering 25 yojanas tall. Avalokiteshvara's countenance glows with the color of Jambunada gold. The tuft between his eyebrows shimmers in the hue of the 7 treasures, emitting 84,000 kinds of radiance. Within each beam appear innumerable hundreds of thousands of emanated Buddhas, each accompanied by countless emanated Bodhisattvas as attendants. All manifestations freely transform as wish to fill the world of the 10 directions, shining like red lotuses. 8 billion wondrous streams of brilliance adorn his body as ornaments, within which all splendors are fully revealed. His palms radiate the colors of 50 billion diverse lotuses, and each fingertip bears 84,000 intricate patterns resembling seal imprints. Each pattern contains 84,000 colors, and each color emits 84,000 rays of light, which are soft and delicate, universally illuminating all. With his divine hands he receives and guides sentient beings. When he lifts his foot, a 1,000-spoked wheel mark appears on his soul, spontaneously transforming the 50 billion radiant platforms. When he sets his foot down, Vajramuni flowers scatter all over, filling all of space. He possesses all other physical marks and characteristics identical to those of a Buddha, with only 2 exceptions. The fleshy Ushnisa atop his head and the invisible vertex mark, which are not equal to those of the world-honored one. This is the contemplation of the true form, body, and physical marks of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, called the 10th contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda, those who wish to contemplate Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara should do so in the manner described. Through this contemplation, practitioners will avoid all calamities, completely purify karmic obstacles, and eliminate their reincarnation-fated negative karma accumulated over countless kalpas. Simply hearing his name brings immeasurable blessings. How much more so contemplating him? Those who intend to engage in this contemplation should begin with the fleshy Ushnisa atop his head, followed by the heavenly diadem, and then proceed to the other marks. Contemplate them in sequence, ensuring the vision is clear and distinct, as if viewing them in your palms. Contemplating this way is called correct contemplation. Contemplating otherwise is called incorrect contemplation. Next, contemplate Bodhisattva Mahastamaprapta. His body equals Avalokiteshvara in size, and his halo with a radiance of 125 yojanas illuminates an area of 250 yojanas. His whole body radiance shines throughout the 10 directions, glowing with a purple golden color. Sentient beings with karmic connections can all behold him. By seeing the light from even a single pore of this Bodhisattva, one sees the pure and wondrous brilliance of innumerable Buddhas in the 10 directions. For this reason, he is also named Boundless Light. His light of wisdom universally illuminates all beings, enabling them to escape the 3 wretched realms. Having attained such supreme power, he is thus named Mahastamaprapta, meaning great strength arrived. The heavenly diadem of this Bodhisattva has 500 jeweled flowers, each displaying 500 jeweled platforms. Within each platform, the vast and magnificent features of pure, wondrous Buddha lands in the 10 directions are revealed. The fleshy Ushnisa atop his head resembles a padma flower, upon which rests a jeweled vase filled with abundant radiance, manifesting the Buddha's deeds universally. His other physical marks are identical to those of Avalokiteshvara with no difference. When this bodhisattva moves, all worlds in the 10 directions experience convulsion. Wherever the ground trembles, 50 billion jewel flowers bloom, each one majestic and resplendent like those in the land of bliss. When this bodhisattva takes his seat, the 7-jeweled Pure Land quakes instantly, along with countless Buddha lands between the land of golden light below and the land of the King of Radiance above, as numerous as dust particles. From these lands, countless emanations of the Buddha of infinite life, Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamaprapta gather like clouds in the land of bliss, filling the entire sky. Seated upon lotus thrones, they expound the wondrous Dharma, delivering beings from suffering. Contemplating this way is called correct contemplation. Contemplating otherwise is called incorrect contemplation. Visualizing Bodhisattva Mahasamaprapta in this way constitutes the contemplation of his form, body, and physical marks, called the 11th contemplation. Through contemplation of this Bodhisattva, practitioners eradicate asamkhya, reincarnation, fated negative karma of countless kalpas. Those who practice this contemplation will never again be reborn through the womb, but will instead always freely roam in the pure and wondrous Buddha lands. The accomplishment of this contemplation is called the complete contemplation of Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamaprapta. When seeing this phenomenon, initiate the mind to visualize being reborn in the western land of bliss, seated in the full lotus posture within a lotus flower. Envision the lotus closing and then opening. As it opens, picture the radiance of 500 colors illuminating your body. Imagine your eyes opening to behold Buddhas and Bodhisattvas filling the sky. The sounds from the water, birds, trees, and Buddhas all expound the wondrous Dharma. Such teachings are perfectly aligned with the 12 divisions of the scriptures. Upon exiting samadhi, remember and retain the vision without losing it. Having visualized this phenomenon, it is called seeing the land of bliss of the Buddha of infinite life. It is the overall contemplation called the 12th contemplation. The Buddha of infinite life manifests countless emanations. Together with Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamaprapta, they constantly appear at places where people practice. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, those who sincerely wish to be reborn in the Western Pure Land should first contemplate the image of Amitabha Buddha appearing 16 feet tall above the waters of the ponds. As mentioned earlier, the physical size of that Buddha is boundless beyond the comprehension of ordinary minds. However, with the power of his past selves, those who recall and envision his form will certainly succeed. Simply contemplating the Buddha's image brings immeasurable blessings. How much more so when contemplating his complete physical form and marks. Amitabha Buddha, with supernatural powers wielded outright, manifest throughout the 10 directions. He may appear in a vast form filling the sky, or in a smaller form measuring 16 or 8 feet. All his manifestations shine in the hue of genuine gold with halos, emanated Buddhas, and jeweled lotuses, as previously described. Bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshvara, and Mahasamaprapta appear in identical forms everywhere. Sending means distinguish between them simply by contemplating the marks on their diadems. These two bodhisattvas assist Amitabha Buddha in guiding all beings. This is the miscellaneous contemplation, called the 13th contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, those reborn in the Pure Land at the upper level of the upper grade are sending beings who, aspiring to such rebirth, cultivate the 3 states of mind, through which they instantly secure their rebirth. What are these 3? They are the sincere mind, the deep mind, and the mind of merit, dedication, and aspiration. Those who fully possess the 3 states of mind will certainly be reborn in that land. There are also 3 kinds of beings who will attain rebirth. What are these 3? 1. Those who are kind-hearted, abstain from killing, and observe all precepts. 2. Those who read and chant the Mahayana scriptures that expound universal equality. 3. Those who practice the 6 invocations. In addition, they dedicate their merit and aspire to rebirth in that land. Those who maintain such merit and virtue for 1 to 7 days will be reborn in the Pure Land. Through their diligent and vigorous practice, when they are about to be reborn in that land, Amitabha Buddha appears, accompanied by Avalokiteshvara, Mahasamaprapta, countless emanated Buddhas, a multitude of hundreds of thousands of bhikkhus and shravakas, innumerable celestial beings in 7 jeweled palaces. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara holds a Vajra pedestal, and together with Bodhisattva Mahasamaprapta approaches the practitioners. Amitabha Buddha radiates great light, illuminating their bodies, and together with the Bodhisattvas extends his hands in welcome. Avalokiteshvara, Mahasamaprapta, and countless other bodhisattvas praised the practitioners and encouraged their resolve to advance. Seeing this, the practitioners rejoiced with excitement and find themselves seated on the Vajra throne. Following behind the Buddha, they were reborn in that land as quickly as a finger snap. After being reborn in that land, they see the Buddha's form body complete with all the marks and the perfected forms of bodhisattvas likewise. The brilliant jeweled forests expound the wondrous Dharma. Upon hearing it, they immediately attain the endurance for the non-arising of Dharmas. In an instant, they visit and make offerings to all Buddhas throughout the 10 directions, and in the presence of each Buddha receive predictions of Buddhahood in succession. Returning to the Pure Land, they attain countless hundreds of thousands of Dharani gates. Such is a person reborn at the upper level of the upper grade. Those reborn in the middle level of the upper grade are ascending beings who, without needing to memorize or chant the Mahayana scriptures, properly understand the meaning and intent of the teachings. They remain unperturbed when encountering the tenets of the Supreme Truth, have deep faith in cause and effect, and refrain from slandering the Mahayana. They dedicate these merits in aspiration to rebirth in the land of bliss. As these practitioners approach death, Amitabha Buddha, surrounded by Avalokiteshvara, Mahasamaprapta, and a retinue of countless sacred beings holding a purple gold pedestal, appears before them offering praise. Child of the Dharma, you practice the Mahayana and understand the supreme truth, so I've come to welcome you today. Together with 1,000 emanated Buddhas, they extend their hands in unison. The practitioners find themselves seated on the purple gold pedestal. With hands joined in praise of the Buddhas, they are instantly reborn in the Pure Land within the 7-jeweled pond. The purple gold pedestal, resembling a great jeweled lotus, opens after one night. The practitioner's body shine with a purple golden color. 7 jeweled lotuses bloom beneath their feet. Amitabha Buddha and the Bodhisattvas simultaneously emit light that illuminates the practitioner's bodies, instantly opening their eyes to clear vision. Due to past practices, they hear all sounds expounding the most profound supreme truth. Descending from the purple gold pedestal, they bow to the Buddha with joined palms and offer praise to the world honored one. After 7 days, they immediately attain honor transgression on the path toward Anandar, something like some Bodhi, supreme perfect enlightenment. From that very moment, they're able to fly and travel throughout the 10 directions, visiting and making offerings to all Buddhas, and practicing various samadhis under their guidance. After a small kalpa, they attain the endurance for the non-arising of dharmas, and receive predictions of Buddhahood in the presence of the Buddhas. Such is a person reborn in the middle level of the upper grade. Those reborn in the lower level of the upper grade are ascending beings who, also having faith in cause and effect, refrain from slandering the Mahayana and simply develop the resolve for supreme enlightenment. They dedicate these merits in aspiration to be reborn in the land of bliss. As these practitioners approach death, Amitabha Buddha, accompanied by Avalokiteshvara, Mahasamaprapta, and other bodhisattvas holding a golden lotus flower, manifest 500 emanated Buddhas, all appearing to welcome them. Together, the 500 emanated Buddhas extend their hands and offer praise. Child of the Dharma, you have attained purity and resolved to achieve supreme enlightenment. We are here to welcome you. Upon seeing this, the practitioner immediately finds themselves seated within the golden lotus. Once seated, the lotus closes and follows Amitabha Buddha, and the practitioners are immediately reborn in the 7-jeweled pond. After 1 day and night, the lotus blooms. Within 7 days, they are able to see the Buddha, though their minds are not yet clear regarding his myriad marks and physical characteristics. After 21 days, the vision becomes perfectly clear. They hear all sounds expounding the wondrous Dharma, and then travel through the 10 directions, making offerings to Buddhas and receiving the most profound teachings from them. After 3 small kalpas, they master the illumination gateway of the 100 dharmas and abide in the stage of joy. Such is a person reborn in the lower level of the upper grade. This is the visualization of the upper tier rebirth called the 14th contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Videhi, those reborn in the upper level of the middle grade are ascending beings who receive and keep the 5 precepts, observe the 8 precepts, and uphold various other Buddhist disciplines. They do not commit the 5 grievous transgressions and remain free of various faults. They dedicate these virtuous roots in aspiration to rebirth in the western land of bliss. As they approach death, Amitabha Buddha, surrounded by a retinue of bhikkhus, radiates golden light and appears before them. The Buddha expounds on suffering, emptiness, impermanence, and egoism, and praises the renunciation of worldly life and detachment from myriad forms of suffering. Upon seeing this, the practitioners rejoice greatly. Perceiving themselves seated on the lotus pedestal, they prostrate with joined palms in homage to Amitabha Buddha, and before lifting their heads are instantly reborn in the land of bliss. The lotus then blooms, and as it opens, they hear sounds extolling the Four Noble Truths and immediately attain arhat status. Possessing the 3 insights, 6 supernatural powers, and 8 liberations, such as a person reborn in the upper level of the middle grade. Those reborn in the middle level of the middle grade are sending wings who for one day and night observe the 8 precepts, the novice precepts, or the full precepts without defect in their comportment. They dedicate these merits and aspiration to rebirth in the western land of bliss. As these practitioners, having upheld the precepts and immersed themselves in their fragrance, approach death, they see Amitabha Buddha and a renewing, emitting golden light, holding a 7-jeweled lotus, appear before them. They then hear a voice of praise in the sky. Good man, because you are virtuous and have followed the teachings of the Buddhas of the three time frames, I have come to welcome you. The practitioners perceive themselves seated upon the lotus, which immediately closes and are reborn in the western land of bliss within a jeweled pond. After 7 days, the lotus blooms upon which their eyes open, joining palms in reverence. They offer praises to the world honor one. Upon hearing the Dharma, they rejoice and attain the stage of Shotapana, Srimanta, and after half a kalpa reach arhathood. Such is the person reborn in the middle level of the middle grade. Those reborn in the lower level of the middle grade are good men and women who are filial to their parents and display worldly benevolence and kindness. When approaching death, they encounter a Dharma friend who recounts in detail the blissful phenomenon of Amitabha Buddha's land and the 48 vows of Bhikkhu Dharmakara. After hearing this, they pass away in due course and are immediately reborn in the western land of bliss, as quickly as their strong man bends and stretches his arm. After 7 days, they meet Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamprapta. Upon hearing the Dharma, they rejoice, attain the stage of Shotapana, and after one small kalpa, realize arhathood. Such is the person reborn in the lower level of the middle grade. This is the visualization of the middle tier rebirth called the 15th contemplation. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vadehi, those reborn in the higher level of the lower grade are sending to create various negative karmas, although they do not send to the Mahayana Sutras. These ignorant beings lack a sense of shame or remorse for committing numerous evil deeds. When approaching death, they encounter a Dharma friend who enumerates the titles of the 12 divisions of Mahayana Sutras. By reason of hearing these titles, their extremely heavy negative karma, accumulated over 1,000 kalpas, is eradicated. The Dharma friend then instructs them to join palms and recite Namo Amitabha Buddha. Through reciting the Buddha's name, the reincarnation fated negative karma of 5 billion kalpas is eliminated. At that moment, Amitabha Buddha sends emanated Buddha, along with emanations of Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamprapta, to appear before the practitioners, praising good man, because you have recited Amitabha's name, all your negative karma has been eradicated, and I am here to welcome you. After these words are spoken, the practitioners immediately perceive the light of the emanated Buddha filling the room. Upon seeing this, they rejoice and pass away. Sending a jeweled lotus, they follow the emanated Buddha to be reborn in the Pure Land within a jewel pond. After 49 days, the lotus blooms. At that time, the greatly compassionate bodhisattvas of Avalokiteshvara and Mahasamprapta appear before them, radiating great light, and expound the most profound teachings of the 12 divisions of the scriptures. Upon hearing these teachings, they develop faith and understanding, and awaken the mind resolved on supreme enlightenment. After 10 small kalpas, they master the illumination gateways of the 100 dharmas and enter the first bodhisattva stage. Such is a person reborn in the higher level of the lower grade. By hearing the names of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the names of the 3 gems, one attains rebirth in the Pure Land. The Buddha said to Ananda and Videhi, those reborn in the middle level of the lower grade are sentient beings who violate the 5 precepts, 8 precepts or full precepts. These ignorant beings steal the communal property of the Sangha, plunder the personal possessions of resident monastics, or teach the Dharma with impure motives without shame or remorse, defiling themselves with various evil karma. Because of their misdeeds, these offenders are destined to fall into hell. As they approach death, all the flames of hell rise at the same time. Then they encounter a Dharma friend who, with great compassion, praises and expounds the 10 powers and majestic virtues of Amitabha Buddha, extensively commends his radiant light and supernatural powers, and extols precepts of meditative concentration, wisdom, liberation, and knowledge, and vision of liberation, the 5 attributes of the Dharma body. Hearing this, the being's reincarnation faded negative karma of 8 billion kalpas is eliminated. The fierce fires of hell transform into cool breezes that carry numerous heavenly flowers. On each flower emanated Buddhas and Bodhisattvas arriving to welcome the dying. In an instant they are reborn in the Pure Land and remain within a lotus in the 7-jeweled pond for 6 kalpas, after which the lotus blooms. At that time, Avalokiteshvara and Mahasammaprapta console them with their Brahma voices and expound the most profound Mahayana scriptures. Upon hearing these teachings, they immediately awaken the resolve to achieve supreme enlightenment. Such is the person reborn in the middle level of the lower grade. The Buddha said to Ananda and Videhi, those reborn in the lower level of the lower grade are sentient beings who commit unwholesome karmic deeds such as the 5 grave offenses, the 10 evil actions, and various other offenses. Due to their negative karma, these ignorant beings are fated to fall into the wretched realms to undergo many kalpas of endless suffering. As these ignorant beings approach death, they encounter a Dharma friend who consoles them in every way, speaks the wondrous Dharma, and teaches them to invoke Amitabha Buddha. Yet their agony makes invocation difficult. When the Dharma friend tells them, if you cannot invoke him mentally, you should call out the name of the infinite life Buddha. These words touch their hearts. With unbroken voice they call Namo Amitabha Buddha 10 times. Since they recite the Buddha's name thought by thought, their reincarnation faded negative karma, accumulated over 8 billion kalpas, is eradicated. At the point of death, they see a golden sun-like lotus appear before them. In a flash, they are reborn in the land of bliss. They stay in the lotus for 12 great kalpas, after which it blooms. Avalokiteshvara and Mahasammaprapta, with voices of great compassion, teach them about the absolute reality behind all dharmas and methods to eliminate negative karma. Upon hearing these teachings, they rejoice and immediately awaken the Bodhi mind. Such is a person reborn in the lower level of the lower grade. This is the visualization of the lower tier rebirth, called the 16th contemplation. As the Buddha delivered these teachings, Videhi, along with their 500 maidservants, heard his words. Instantly they beheld broad and boundless views of the land of bliss. They also saw the Buddha's form and the 2 bodhisattvas. Filled with joy, they marveled at this unprecedented experience. They attained a sudden great awakening and realized the endurance for the non-arising of dharmas. The 500 maidservants developed the resolve for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi and aspired to be reborn in the Pure Land. The world honored and Shakyamuni Buddha prophesied that they would all be reborn there, and after rebirth, they would attain the all Buddha's presence samadhi. Countless celestial beings also awakened their resolve for supreme enlightenment. At that time, Ananda rose from his seat and said to the Buddha, World honorer, what name should be given to this sutra? How should the essence of this teaching be accepted and retained? The Buddha said to Ananda, the sutra is named Contemplation of the Land of Bliss, the Buddha of Infinite Life, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, and Bodhisattva Mahasammaprapta. It is also named Purification and Elimination of Karmic Obstacles, karmic obstructions, and rebirth in the presence of all Buddhas. You should accept and retain it, never forgetting or discarding it. Those who practice this samadhi will see the Buddha of Infinite Life and the 2 Mahasattvas in their present lives. If good men and women merely hear the name of that Buddha or the names of the 2 Bodhisattvas, they will eliminate their reincarnation-faded negative karma accumulated over countless kalpas. How much more so if they recollect and invoke them? You should know that those who invoke that Buddha are like Pundarika, white lotuses among humans. Bodhisattvas of Avalokiteshvara and Mahasammaprapta become their sacred friends. They'll be seated in the Bodhi mandala, side of enlightenment, and be reborn into the Buddha's family. The Buddha said to Ananda, bear these words well in mind. To bear these words in mind means to recite the name of the Buddha of Infinite Life. When the Buddha spoke these words, venerables Moggallana and Ananda, along with Videhi and others, upon hearing the Buddha's teachings, were all filled with joy. When the world honored ascended through the air and returned to Mount Kujakuta, At that time, Ananda recounted the entire event in detail to the great assembly. Countless Devas, Nagas, and Yakshas, upon hearing the Buddha's words, were all filled with immense joy. They paid homage to the Buddha and departed. End of the Buddha speaks of the Contemplation of Infinite Life Sutra. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha.